Okay, thank you. It's 2:30. We're starting our meeting of the Finance Committee. And the first item is a call to order and roll call. Both members of the committee are here. The next part of this is a public comment, and I'd like to know if there's any members of the public.
No.
There are no members of the public.
Correct.
Okay, so we'll move beyond that and approval of the minutes. Well, I was the only one that was here at the last meeting.
Yeah, there's a correction to the
That's correct.
minutes.
There is a correction. And Debbie was the.
Yes, Debbie was here.
Other than that, the meetings, the minutes are fine, approved. Next thing we have are the March claims.
Yes,
I'm gonna take a moment to look at that to see if there's anything that we would like to address. I have a question, and that's $3,000 on field yard supplies.
supplies.
For
Hank's
where?
Hardware.
Hanks?
Yes, 3/8.
Yes, what that is, we had, since, Dustin is taking kind of over the field supervisory role. He needed to, upgrade a bunch of stuff in the field
Okay,
to be able to work. And a lot of this stuff they're doing on their own now.
okay,
So instead of our
Yes,
contractors,
yes.
so we just needed to regroup and get some fresh supplies.
He gave me a list of things he wanted to,
okay.
And he
like
approved.
saw and
Okay.
things like that.
So you did see that,
Yeah.
Before and after.
very good.
Just so you know, every payable that I pay, he sees first and he initials the invoice.
Right.
For the, I'm sure there's a few, but that he doesn't, but for the most part,
Right.
he always sees.
And Debbie and I signed the check to Murrieta Development
Yeah, I
for
saw
Cindy
that.
of the Vaquero of $755,000.
Right, now we're through with our payments.
So we are 100% done with FEMA paying, we're paid off, except for one thing, and that's the retention on the Sandia Creek View and Carroll. That gets paid 45 days after you guys sign the notice of completion,
Okay,
which you'll
Okay.
do tomorrow, and that's 70,000. So
Okay.
other than that, we are done with FEMA.
Okay,
I mean, paying out anyway.
okay.
And then you can see on the next page, we also paid, progress payment number 3 to Area Development,
Right.
354. So all that's left is the $70,000 in retention.
Very good, very good. You did the Buenos Campos repairs. There were two
$17,000.
$17,000.
There's
One
out-
free, two or three, and then there's a third one.
Which will be next month. You'll
Next
see it on the
month,
claim.
Okay. Very good, very good.
no, everything fine.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to you.
No, I look good.
Okay, good, thank you. All right, then we can move on to rehabilitation.
And I finally had a chance to do a new one after so long.
Wonderful.
So this is all updated, and I'll explain it if you guys would like.
Color coded, that's what I like.
I got new colors going
think-
on. I was getting sick of the old
I
colors.
think red and green would be better,
Yeah.
and then a yellow.
How's that paper?
But anyway, so right now, the top line, of course, is what we have in our regular roadway rehabilitation, which is $4.2 billion. I'll be getting benefit
Is
fee,
how much?
Where?
2.4 million.
Yes, right. I thought you said 4.2.
Oh, yeah, you did,
Yeah.
I just left it, I didn't tell you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, I wish it was.
Right.
Anyway, so the next line is I'm going to be getting our annual benefit fee number 2 next month, and that's about 168,000. We have 1.165 million in our emergency roadway rehabilitation fund.
Now, I've always wondered, an emergency fund that gets broken out by zone. It's kind of interesting, you know? But that's the way it is. Okay.
Yes. Anyway, so we have, those are 3, add those together. Now we're gonna do some of the going out, which is Buena Vista. I've increased that from 575 to 675 because I know we're going to have we don't know, do we have a number yet on that, or if they're still reworking the bid and stuff, since it's been so long, prices have gone up.
Sure.
So I estimated that with Jim's help at about 675.
So who's gonna pay for the overage, Jim? How do we work that? Because they only have 432 in the
Well,
zone one.
let's see, but they have,
No, they have
they have
4
a fund balance starting at 481.
plus the 31 plus the 432.
I see, okay.
Yeah.
So they have enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have enough,
You will take it out of the emergency then as well.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
The other way to do it, of course, is to front it and then charge them later.
we can do that too.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's in the correct, in a good zone where we're not gonna have to borrow.
Great.
From a zone to zone.
Yeah.
Okay, so getting down, the green is all FEMA related.
Yes.
So after paying that 70,000 that I said we have in the retention still to pay,
Right.
that is included in this 3.859 million number. So that is what completely 100% of what we've expended for this FEMA.
All right.
That's inspection, engineering, environmental, everything, the whole ball of wax. Okay, so we've received $1.5 million in actual cash to date. We have on the books from last year a receivable of $914,000. And that is mainly making up overruns on large projects.
Okay.
Okay?
So that brings us expenditure 3.8, income 2.4.
Correct.
So there's a difference there. Where does that come from? That difference?
Well, add one more number in there because I'm just about to, in the next week or two, send in for reimbursement obligated funds, so this shouldn't be any kind of an issue. We're gonna collect not 575, just from FEMA and Sandia Creek. So add those three numbers together, 1.5, 900, and the 575.
But aren't there, and there are no further expenditures?
No further expenditure.
Okay, very good. So that brings it up to about 3 million.
Yeah,
And we were shooting for 700.
Right.
100,000
Right.
1 year contribution
Right.
on roadway rehab. We almost had it done.
Right,
and that's including, the small project.
right.
that
What
we
about
did.
administrative time? Aren't they supposed to pay for that?
I've already received, I've asked for 50,000 and I've received like 46 of it. So they are paying it. They are paying it, so we have a chunk of that.
Category Z.
Yeah, but there's, now, what's gonna have to happen is all that's gotta be documented and turned into them, or they theoretically could ask for it back.
But
So-
we came up with something just recently.
Yes, he's right.
Because they're not paying for, what they denied in our arbitration. All that Willdan time, that's gonna be our category Z.
Okay, very
So I
good.
don't have to sit down
Yes,
and write that I
yes.
spent 15 minutes
Great,
thinking
great,
about
great,
this.
great,
and,
Yeah, hopefully that was good. So if you net everything out, these are all formulas on here. The blue one is what we hope to have in these funds at this point.
Okay.
So we got about $2.2 million altogether, but you see, it's broken up into the 5 zones, so it's not like, you spend it however you want.
Right, the only 2 zones really go down. And
Yeah,
that's zone 1 and primary.
And one is such a small zone and the roads are, from my understanding, very good shape,
Right, so they're okay.
okay?
They're better than some of the roads I drive on.
Well, that's that.
So you got since 19, this is 2019.
Right.
You've done $4 million worth of road.
Right.
Because I heard some squawking a few years back. We don't do any road work around
Yeah,
here.
but
Oh,
That's
there's
a
been
lot
a
of road
lot
work.
of
that
roads
is, but
done.
a big portion of that was due to damage,
Yes,
direct damage to the road.
That's true. That's
but
true.
we have done making things, the striping in,
Yeah.
better, the signs better, the reflectivity of the signs, all of that has improved a lot. So And that counts a lot,
Right.
people driving.
It just, not to belabor it, but the thing that is very significant, and it's like a lot of things that are significant and get done. It's under the surface, not sea.
Mhm.
And that's all of those, the culverts that you
That's
fix.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, that is totally,
How
not
long
sea.
that's gonna last.
That's right. And probably not well appreciated.
It's true.
So, I mean, I think that was a good decision to do that. I think it was the right thing.
Mhm, it
Unfortunately, it's not as visible as repaving Sandia Creek.
No, it's
The
not
road.
as visible,
Yeah.
but there's been
Or
a lot of that done.
fixing the bridge. Okay, before we get to the update on request for proposal, what about the audit?
Okay, so we know it's not gonna be this month.
I've noticed that.
It's going to be next month. One of the things that happened towards the end with Leaf and Coal, they're starting to wrap everything up. And they realized that they need to disclose and do evaluation on our OPEB benefits, which is other post-retirement benefits, which is medical. We have, when you retire, you follow certain guidelines, we offer retirement medical. So they don't do that. They didn't realize that until the end that we need to disclose this. They should have, because this came up last year. With that being said, they don't do that in-house. We have to go out to Nyhart, which does our GASB reporting and all of that. So Nyhart has everything they want. They had it the day after we were told about this. They should be done with that reporting by the end of the week. It will get sent directly to Leaf and Coal and they'll button everything up.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you to report that
Okay, absolutely.
more. Okay, so now give me an update on the RFP.
Well, I'll let Jim talk too, but what we did is you have a copy of the RFP letter in there.
Right.
So, and I didn't really know about this, Jim told me about this. There's what do you call it on CSDA, that board?
In fact, I checked it at lunch just to make sure because we're not getting feedback.
Yeah, I'll let you go into that.
And so CSDA every week puts out a newsletter that I get on my phone. And one section of it is RFPs of districts. And so the vendors,
Mhm.
that's how they find out that people are looking for projects.
For
So anyway, I pulled it up on my today, or on my phone today, and look, here we go. And RFP clearinghouse, you don't have to see
Yeah,
that.
clearinghouse.
And then on it, it said, who's looking for, proposals,
So you put us in there.
and we're in there.
Okay.
So we could have 100 people looking at that.
We could,
Okay.
but we're not getting, but
Yeah, we're not-
comment,
we're not.
that doesn't mean they're not coming in, because these are pretty boilerplate, okay? But usually you get some phone calls, so anyway, I just kind of working on calling around to who's auditing in the area.
Okay.
Emmett,
And then
Other
Temecula,
agents.
directly to that.
and we're sending out an email. Oh, by the way, we're looking for an auditor. So, have we sent any of those out yet?
Going out for an RFP.
No, I have.
Why are we
Leaf and Coal knows we're going out.
Yes, I know.
So.
And why?
Well, we've been with the same auditor for probably 20 years.
Okay.
You're supposed to really change auditors to keep everything kosher.
Right.
We got around that because the I don't know if it's the law or what, it states as long as you have a different partner auditing you from
Okay.
year to year, you're okay.
All right.
So that's why we're okay. There's, nothing
Nothing.
weird going
No,
on, but it's
no.
time.
It's time to
we've been
get
talking about
someone
this for 5 years, so.
Right, okay.
And you may hire them back,
Right,
Yeah, they're
but at least you've done your due diligence.
right,
That
correct.
changed. That makes sense.
Gotten the proposal.
That's a good idea.
And we were going to just define a date when we were going to interview them. It was
Yeah, I think I have it written down.
May 4th.
I have it written down on my desk somewhere. We worked
The
out,
deadline
what you
is the
guys-
last day of this month.
yeah,
And then we begin going through, I think then we have a week, the first week of May is pick which firms we want to interview.
Mhm.
Then I think the second week of May,
Is the
interviews.
interview.
Okay,
And then you pick a finalist
At
or
the
a
board
pair of
meeting.
them. And then they present to the board as a thing.
So what you should do is send us an email for the dates. Remember, we decided it'd be one day.
I have the paper when you and he
Yes,
were
that's right.
discussing. I
So,
got
so
the
send
paper.
us an email to confirm, because I don't
Right.
remember the dates and so you'll.
so I have that, yes,
Will do.
Okay,
So it'll be probably an afternoon.
that's
is
fine,
there,
that's fine.
And they'll come make their pitch.
Okay, sounds
excellent.
good.
Okay.
So probably you said the second week of May,
First and second,
yeah,
might be
For
able to do the
interviews.
second one at the finance committee. That's where we do all of that. Yeah. HPDLAIF.
It actually, do you see it went up a
yes,
little
it
bit?
did go a little bit. It's a big one, I said,
Well, what do you think about?
it did go up a little bit, I noticed that.
I'm happy for the district. I think if you every time I go to the Kansas
I know.
And the Fed hasn't even begun to improve our district situation.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I can't believe over my little, I don't even have a huge tank over $100. Oh my God.
Isn't that, I know,
Man.
that's pretty bad.
Okay, anything else? I think that that covers all of the matters of concern.
I have one item,
Okay.
which is the last item, I think. This is something that's going to be on your meeting tomorrow night.
Right.
And it's actually on the agenda, but there wasn't a report with it.
Mhm.
At the engineering committee meeting,
Right,
discussion, but let me back up. We've completely changed field services in the last year. When we hired Dustin, almost a couple of years ago, when Keith was here, we contracted out all of our repairs, culvert repairs, and all of our asphalt work. And then when Keith left, then Steve was temporary, and Dustin was telling Steve, well, I can do that. And so Steve came to me and said, he can do that, he says, but let's see what he can do. But we don't have the equipment for him to demonstrate. So we made a deal with one of the leasing companies, and so we started leasing equipment. One being a piece of equipment called a skid steer. And I had to say, what the heck is that? They gave me a picture. Anyway, but it's basically the machine with interchangeable parts.
yes,
And we would rent the particular part that he needed plus the equipment. And lo and behold, he knew his stuff because he proved it.
Right.
So then as we got new people, and of course the people we're hiring now are at a different standard because of Dustin, they have those same skills, training. So we've actually been doing more and more and more, but our leasing bill has kind of gone through the roof. And if we're going to continue this, we need to get new equipment. But this is an interchangeable piece of equipment. We only need one with the individual part.
right,
So anyway, at the engineering committee, they've discussed it prior month, and then this month, they said first to Dustin, yeah, we're interested. So go see what you find out. So he presented to them last week, and basically, he's going to tell you tomorrow night why we don't need the skip loader that we bought 3 years ago or whatever for $90,000. And it's too big in today's world. Back when they had the original skip loader, they did different kinds of grading, the things were different here then. And now they need something that's smaller and more nimble that they can get in and get out. So we already have a skip loader anyway, the 40-year-old skip loader that still works. And because we didn't get rid of it when we bought the new one. So he had Cat come out and give him an appraisal. And basically, we haven't used it. I mean, there's no hours on it. They said it's like brand new. So they offered us 60,000 for it. So we lost 30, okay? But then we said, okay, so how about if we bought a skidster with all 5 attachments, the mower, and it will work as the loader in terms of grading and other pieces of equipment they need. All 5 of those and a 4-year warranty is 125,000, less the 60,000.
Right,
So that's another 65,000.
65,000, right.
And then you need a trailer because it doesn't have tires. It's got the tank there. And that's 22,000, but that's a different company. We gotta go shopping for that. So we need like a not to exceed 22,000.
Right,
And that comes, and then there's no maintenance of any of that equipment for 4 years. So
right. They'll cover all repairs, all maintenance for 4 years of that piece.
So in my mind, I was gonna put this on the May agenda, but then they started talking about supply chain because it's an 8-month turnaround. And they're saying because we're trading in that we go to the top of the list. So they think around 3 or 4 months. So then Chuck said, you better get down there. So anyway, I've got your staff report right here because Dustin is a little green at writing. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I want him to see how we do it. So I have the detail. We'll send this probably tonight with other email.
Okay,
You're gonna at least have the numbers before you,
Right.
and this is gonna be his report, followed by a statement by the engineering committee, whatever their views on it are, and then we'll report that we presented it to the finance committee
Right.
also. Teresa, I walked into her and said, so where are we gonna get some money? And it was the answer.
I was talking, we've accrued 80,000 in our fixed asset reserve, so we have 80,000. And there's 45,000 in our long-term planning, which we thought maybe would be going to like pay like another Paula tree, or then some other things came up. So basically we have, gas tax, whatever, Anyway, basically we have 125,000 in reserves that have previously been set aside and just accumulating. So we basically do have the funds for that.
What we need to know is, that unlike the last piece of equipment which we bought and wasn't used, how often is this going to be used and what are the savings?
I'm gonna let you ask Dustin that. I know that it's significant.
it is.
Because now these jobs that we're putting off or we've never even contemplated doing. He had another one for me yesterday. Because as they're going around the district, they're seeing these pipes that are crushed and this and that. Well, before were more or less ignored. They were put on a list for next time we're contracting out. And he's ready to do them like next week.
And
What he needs to do is do a survey of what projects would be done in the next year. See, I mean, if he said, well, I've got 4 projects to do, that's fine. But this is a large output. And it needs to be more than 4 projects. Do you know what I mean?
Here's what he's written in the
Okay.
draft.
Okay,
Average annual savings of the district having equipment to do more intricate work, including maintenance on equipment, roadway repair. Asphalt services, 30 to 70,000 a year. Maintenance equipment, 7 to 10. Tree trimming, because this thing will just go 40,000, which I think he's low on that. I think he's low on all these numbers. And then rentals to maintain damaged roadways and emergency work. Like during the rain, we just trailer our equipment over there and we're
we're done.
So we'll come up with a number, better than this, but, it's significant.
So within the first year, we'll have savings that would equate to the new equipment and trailer, basically.
The one thing I wanted to mention, the last few months that since the field crew have been out there and doing projects, we have rented what's it called?
Skid steer.
Skid steer. So I see the rental invoices coming in.
2,000 a ton.
They're very expensive, but he's using it for everything, so
Well,
I
that would
think
be,
he's
that
done it
would
4
also be
times.
good information to have in terms of how much we spent on that. See, what we don't want to get into is the next board sitting here saying, oh, they spent 120,000, they only used it 4 times.
No.
You know what I mean? Like that last, that's, I don't disagree with it, but, you know, we just want to make sure that we're doing this and that last time that was, I don't know whether I was on the board or not, but, you know, I just don't remember the details of that discussion.
Mike was a big proponent.
I'm sure.
But I think, according to what you just read, a yearly cost, that would just about pay for, in savings, for the equipment and the trailer. So in a year's time.
$17,000 contract job that we did, it just happened that they broke them. They were
Right.
all, now, we would, do all the demo work. Because, every time we have to do the demo and then obviously it comes to asphalt. We've got the machine, we'll tear all the asphalt off. They bring in the asphalt, so we would, or we would do the. But even on those bigger jobs, because like one on a garage, they where'd you go? Manpower, so they would. Take all the old asphalt off, and then the next day in comes the contractor, and they just pay.
And that's
So,
faster, saves money.
Yeah, it would, be pretty significant.
But it isn't dollar for dollar. If you would have paid somebody $10,000 to do that, we do it, it's still a cost to us for doing it.
Sure,
Oh, sure.
So it's a difference. It isn't, you didn't save 10,000,
no.
you maybe saved 6 or 8 or whatever it is.
Right.
I understand that.
So it would just be kind of this.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And just to let you know, someone joined us late in the meeting, so we do have one member from the public here.
Okay,
He's with us.
Does he wish to speak?
Sorry, we're about ready to adjourn, just to let you know. Is there anything else?
That's all I have.
Let me make sure there's no raised hands or anything over here. Just, just make sure I don't blow her away.
He's still here. If you want to.
It's not. Okay, thank you.
Am I allowed to speak?
We went through that part of the meeting already, and we started at 2:30, so I looked at my watch,
Fair enough.
okay? Anything else?
All I have.
Okay, so we're adjourned. Are you?
I'm ready. Yes.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
thank you.